Yeah, support Anivia is fine, but like, what would you pair with an Anivia to be like a good 80 carry to carry?
I think you would pair turning off your computer and not playing it
Okay,
because
okay.
for AD Anivia so far, we're just gonna keep an eye on the CS. See who's gonna pull ahead in there. Arrow's gonna miss one already. 2-2 in CS, so one miss apiece for both sides. Arrow continuing to look for opportunities to harass, but look at that double up. It's gonna start coming in, and it is AD misfortune, so I feel a little bit more reassured about that.
I mean, the 80 misfortune should fare much, much better. I don't think Arrow really can do all that much. In terms of like raw sustain too, Watch did go for the better route in the flask, so he's really going to be able to soak up these autos, as well as with Strut he can dodge away from any kind of stun or gap closing that Arrow would look for.
Without starting with either a Doran's Blade or a Longsword, you can see Watch's Misfortune starting with, I believe, 66 AD at level 2. So that's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with, although these, you gotta say, not dodging away from double ups. Really costing Arrow a little bit of HP. He does have health potions in his inventory. 2 still left.
I don't think he's gonna even need to use those. Arrow's not getting much harassing. When he does try to, just Watch responding well by getting his own amount of clicks back. So it's gonna be pretty even for now, but this is a pretty big wave that built up, and Arrow can pretty easily catch up to, seeing as to how his auto attacks hit for quite a lot. So shouldn't be missing too much here.
Yeah, I mean, Arrow's auto attacks do hit for enough to last it, I guess, decently under turret. The struggle comes when it, involves Arrow's spells actually dealing damage, and I guess there's always that glorified base ratio, but just look at how much damage Watch is able to trade right back at you.
Also, if you put a Nivea into egg, does that count as a kill? No, right?
Nope.
No, okay.
You actually have to kill the egg itself. So if Arrow is able to get back underneath his turret, then it's gonna save his life. But he does not have flash, so won't be able to die and then flash underneath his turret so that his egg is safe from harm.
Okay, so see, could be some mind games there as well. Trying to bait Watch back into a lull of a false sense of security when he does end up, thinking he killed Arrow. He's like, oh yeah, I won the match now, but it's like, oh, he's in the egg. Wait a minute, no, I didn't.
Alright, so as far as skill distribution is concerned, no points in Crystallize there for Arrow. Just gonna split things up between Flash Frost and Ice Blast. But for Watch, you actually put 1 point into Impure Shots, and then of course maxing Double Up as your second item, or your second ability. Probably no surprise there. You're just gonna see it continuing to get off some really good harass behind turret. I think what Arrow is actually gonna do is let himself die under turret, and then revive in his egg passive to get that extra sustain in lane.
Even then, yeah, I guess doing that is okay in that scenario, since that you save your TP, but again, you come back into the lane with no mana, and
wait, so he lost his passive and he's going back to base. Now this is the AD Anivia, so you don't really need that much mana in the first place. Arrow goes back to base, buys double longsword or double Doran's blades and a longsword.
I don't know how I feel about that. That was weird. That just looks weird in general to just do that. But I guess he wants the Doran's blade. He wants the priority on, being able to out-trade Watch. But Watch is going back to base himself. He'll pick up his own double Dorans or triple Dorans. Whoa. So he'll be much better off.
All right, well, it's going to be exciting to see triple Dorans come back in the lane. The Crystalline Flash too. We've seen over and over again exactly how effective that is at the lane sustain. Specifically, if you have high value spells that you can cast, like for Arrow, he probably doesn't have too many spells that he is actually actively looking to use. I mean, sure, you land a stun and that's 3 trades afterwards, and even without any ability power, the spells are actually going to do a decent amount of damage, just thanks to the spell crit on that Flash Frost.
Yep. So with this ultimate too now from the Anivia, pushing into her is going to be so hard. or pushing into Arrow. I don't mean to call him her, but I'm just referencing the fact that he's in Nebula. But you know, he's able to just throw out that storm. He's able to not really maintain it though, which is the big thing. His mana pool is going to be suffering a lot.
Double ups continuing to you know, be thrown out there, but they're not actually landing as quite as much as they used to. Although, you know, right as they say, oh, stun gonna come in. There's a lot of damage traded right back in there. One shot of those impure shots going back on towards Arrow, but Arrow definitely feeling the struggle now. Keep in mind, no Anivia passive up for another 5 minutes. That is going to be a very high value passive down.
And he could just play around that, honestly, just play a little bit more defensively. But when he does end up giving that space over to Watch, Watch is really just going to take leaps and bounds ahead. Already he's got a bit of an advantage in terms of the creeps, but that's because the lane hasn't pushed up yet. And with this wave, it's 4, so he's currently got 2 total creeps ahead of Arrow if Arrow doesn't miss anything here, which isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, Arrow's last hitting is actually doing okay, you know, as far as, you know, the last hitting versus last hitting matchup. Will that actually be something that we see as a win condition here? I mean, we do have 2, you know, quote-unquote AD carries. But last time Arrow did win by, you know, chasing Watch down, so we'll have to see if that is something he wants to go for here. 1 turret shot taken there by Watch, but triple Doran's blades and enough sustain. I don't think that'll actually matter.
Nope. He could take like 4 to 5 turret shots and be okay. So that's also another big thing is Miss Fortune does get a lot of health. So she's also just naturally tanky in that. In terms of 80 carry tanky, not in terms of like top lane tanky. So, you know, we got Watch. He's just gonna beat into this tier 1 turret, and there's nothing Arrow can do about it right now. His TP's still down for a decent amount of time. If he goes back to base, he's gonna lose his turret with this next wave since it's a siege wave.
Yeah, Arrow's in a lot of problems. He can try to spam out that Flash Frost, but it's just not going to be enough to keep him in this lane. He is going to have to go back. He is out of sustain, and while he will get some lifesteal, some health back from those Doran's Blade lifesteal, that is not going to be very consequential at this point in the game. Flash and heal both available. And Summoner spells here from Watch, and I think he's just going to go for the... okay, well... guess he wins the anticlimactic victory award. He's walking under turret and doubling up rather your opponent. I don't know, they definitely gonna make it double or nothing. So we'll see which player is actually able to advance now that Watch has evened up the score versus Arrow.
And we go to blind pick now too. So what is